Hello friends, today in this video we are going to see how can we create a program with multiple activities. That means when you are clicking on button 1 it will create an activity. So that activity will go to another page, and from that page again how we are coming back to the same page. For example, here this is the main page and the main page is having one button 1. So if I press here it is going to another page 1. So the page is completely changed, and here the button is also changed, home. So once we are clicking here home, so now we are coming back to the main page. This is a very simple program, and we'll see how to do it now. Now let us open a new project, and we can select an empty template. Click on next, and here we can give any name. For example, we can give multiple activity, and other values are default, so we don't have to change anything. Just click on finish. So now we have to wait for the complete environment to be loaded. So now the main activity is loaded and activity main.xml is also created, and still it is loading. So we have to wait till all the resources are loaded. Now the resources are completely loaded. We can start with the program. So first there are two important files. One is main activity, which is a Java file, and activity main.xml. So that is nothing but a layout file. So here in the layout we have to make the design, like how our screen should be displayed. So let us minimize this one. Let us minimize this one. Now here already there is a default text is there, we can delete it. Now we can add a text box. The text we can make it as this is the home page. So that means this is the home page. This is the home screen of our program. So we can mark the position. Next we'll add a button. So we can just select the button, drag and drop here, and in the similar way we have to mark the position. The text of this is buttons. So here we can say click me. So once this button is clicked, it should go to another page, another window. So for that we need to create another activity. So for that we have to go inside Java and here select new and then activity and new empty activity. So we are creating a new empty activity for the page 2. And here I am giving the name as page 2. And then remaining everything or default. So we can just click on finish. Now we got a page 2 and activity page2.xml. So by selecting activity page2.xml, we can design how our second screen should be. So here we can add a text message stating that this is the second page. So here we can mention this is the second page. We can increase the size of it. So we can just come down, and here from we can change it from 14 sp to 24 sp. So now the text is a little bit bigger. And then here we can add one more button so that when we click the button here, it will go to the main page. That just select the button here again and add it here. So mark the positions. Okay. So here for this one, we can give the name as button 2, or we can make it as click for main page. So this is the name which we are giving, and the button ID here is button 2. Okay, so this is our second page. So the plan is when we are clicking here, it will go to the first page. The first page is this one, which is this is the home page. Okay, and here when we are clicking, it will go to the second page. So here we can give the ID for the first button. Like here, instead of button, we can give it as button 1. It is not necessary it should be button 1. It can be any name. So just for understanding, I'm making this as first button in the page 1 and button 2 in the page 2. Okay, so now we can go for the coding part. First, we have to do the coding in the main activity. That is, this main activity belongs to the activity, first activity. So, and then we'll write the coding in the second activity. First, we have to create a variable and we have to map that variable with this button. So for that, we'll create a variable view button 1 equal to find view by id, and the type is button, and the button id is r.id dot button 1. This is our first button. Next, we have to set an action for this button. That means we have to identify when the button is pressed. For that, we have to assign a listener, on click listener. So we'll assign an on click listener now. Button 1 dot set on click listener. So here we have added on click listener, and what action that needs to be done, that we have to define it inside this brackets. So here the action which you are planning is when this button is pressed, it should go to the next page, that is the next activity. So for that we have to use a parameter called as intent. So we can create val intent 1 equal to intent from this page. So this is the page which I am marking, the current page, to what is the destination page? It is page 2, and the format is class dot java. So this is the format of this. So now we have added the activity, we have added the listener. So once the button is pressed, we have added what is the activity, and for triggering the activity we should make start activity. So this is for triggering the activity, and the activity which you are triggering is intent. This is the activity which we are going to trigger. So it is intent 1. Okay, so now with this code, the code on the main activity is done. So when the button is clicked, it will go to the page 2, and now from page 2 we have to come back to page 1, right? So in the same way we have to create a coding in page 2. So we can go to page 2 java, and here again we have to identify the button. So button is here, the button is button 2. So we have to map this button to a variable. So I'm just creating a variable button 2 equal to find view by id, and the type is button, and r dot id dot button 2. So button 2 is the button which we are using page 2. So now we are going to assign a on click listener, button 2 dot on set on click listener. So the on click listener is assigned. Now we have to specify an action. So the action is from page 2 to page 1 main page. So that is done by a intent. So val intent 2 equal to intent from this page to the destination pages. Main activity is the destination page. So we have to mention the main page name, main activity class dot java. So this is the format. So now we have to start the intent. So we can mention start activity intent 2. So that's it, friends. The coding is now ready. So we can try executing the coding. So I'm just starting the emulator. So this is our main page. So now I'm clicking on this button. So here now it is going to the second page. We got the button click for main page. Now I'm clicking on this button. Now it came to the main page, home page. So by this way we can do any number of times. We can go to the second page and we can return back to the home page. So this is a simple program involving multiple activity. So hope this procedure is clear for everyone. So in case of any doubts, you can always feel free to ask your doubts in the comment section. And also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe so that you can get in track with the new upcoming videos. Thank you. Thanks for watching.